Hey guys, Patricia from Cypress Table. Today we're going to show you how to make a super cute, delicious homemade focaccia bread from scratch. No bread machines involved, no stand mixers with dough hooks involved, just a little bit of elbow grease and some time, and you'll have this delicious and super cute focaccia bread ready for the table by dinner time. All right, let's get going. All right, what you're going to need for your delicious homemade focaccia bread is 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, some sugar, some active dry yeast, olive oil for sure, good olive oil, salt, and warm water. You want this to be actually hot water, yes. All right, so we've got our yeast packet in here, and we're gonna go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of sugar. That's just regular old granulated sugar. Bloop. And to that, we're gonna add 1 cup of hot water. Do 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 do, glug glug glug, rub a dub dub. Into the cup. There we go. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a little bit of a stir, and what we're doing here is called blooming, blooming the yeast. It's gonna take a few minutes. Here in Florida it's so hot, but what's gonna happen is it's gonna kind of smell like beer, and it's gonna get kind of frothy on top. So it's really not gonna take much time. All right, so to our flour, we're gonna be adding a little bit of salt, either sea salt or kosher salt, whichever one you have laying around at the time. And about a 1/2 teaspoon is all you really need, right on in there. Go ahead and give that a little bit of a whisk. We're gonna just kind of let that chill out while we're waiting for our yeast to bloom. Like I said, it's pretty hot in Florida right now, so it won't take too long. While that's happening, we're gonna just talk really quickly about our adorable little tomatoes, which we're gonna make into our little petals. We're just gonna be able to slice those right in half. It's gonna be great. And we're gonna use some scallions for the stems. Isn't that cute? Okay, so at this point in time, if you wanted to, you could chop up some fresh herbs or garlic, roasted smashed garlic if you wanted to, whatever you wanted to, and you would go ahead and you'd add that to your yeast mixture right around this time. It's super delicious. Little black pepper might be nice in there. So for now, we're gonna add 1/4 cup of good extra virgin olive oil to our yeast mixture. Do do do, goo 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 goo. Perfect. We're also going to be adding that 2nd cup of water that's in the recipe down below you somewhere. So there we go. There's our olive oil, and now for our water. Perfect. Yep. All right, we're pouring, and we're just going to use the whisk for a couple of minutes because it's really going to be ineffective very, very quickly. Mixing, kneading, mixing. All right, so I've got it all ready to go, and at this point, sadly, we are going to knead this for 10 whole minutes. Here we go. And we're kneading, and we're kneading, and we're kneading. We're kneading a little bit more, and you're gonna see it's gonna start to come together slowly but surely. You do need a little patience and some elbow grease, and before you know it, there it is. All right. So you can see that it's come together. It's very cohesive. It's kind of elastic. This is exactly what you want to see. These glutens are starting to kind of come together and form a beautiful, slappable dough ball. All right. So what you're going to go do is go ahead here and grab the same bowl you were working with. Don't stress about getting a fresh bowl. And you're going to put a little olive oil right down in the bottom of it, and you're going to add your dough ball to that. Boop, boop, boo. Give it a little rub-a-dub-dub. And what we're going to do is cover this with some plastic wrap, whatever you have, a tea towel even, and we're going to let it rise for a good 1.5 hours. So I know that's a long time, but good night, dear dough. we'll see you in an hour and a half. And you want to make sure that you do that in a nice warm place. So at least 70 degrees. Woo, look at it go. How about that? Through the magic of television, boom, it's done. All right, so it's about tripled in size. It's been an hour and a half, and it's pretty darn gorgeous and smells nice and yeasty. So we're just gonna take a little tiny bit of flour, throw it down on our board, and we're gonna just turn it right on out. Kerplunk, there it goes. And we're gonna add a little bit more flour right on the top there, just a touch. And we don't want to overwork this. At this point, we really want to be careful. There's nothing worse than an overworked focaccia. So you're really not even kneading it again. You're just kind of bringing it together. So we're going to go ahead and cut this in half. Perfect. And so this recipe is going to make 2 small sheet trays or half pans, or 1 big giant like full pan. So I've got that here ready to go, and we're going to add a little bit of olive oil to that. Perfect. Just about a tablespoon or so. Go ahead and grab your dough, and what you're going to do is you're going to start pushing it up into the sides and corners of your sheet tray. And it is going to take a little bit of time. It's going to want to kind of stretch back on you. But fear not, if you just kind of stay adamant, stay courageous, you will win the battle of the dough. So right back into the corners. Does not have to be perfect. Just kind of try to get it to stick back in there. And this has to sadly go to sleep for about 30 minutes before we're kind of ready to deal with it. So just again, tuck, tuck, tuck. Make sure everything is all in order. And we're going to go ahead and grab a towel and cover it. We'll see you in a half an hour, bread. While that is sleeping, we're going to go ahead and talk about our ingredients for our beautiful little flowers. So your scallions, if they're a little bit wilted, that's actually okay. They're going to be a little bit more manageable and easier to kind of work with, especially once you start to get them on the dough. So you'll just kind of trim off just the green parts. Perfect. Yep. Kind of looking for the smaller pieces, but if you end up needing to slice those in half, that's just fine. So we'll just grab a few of those, not too many, because I think we're only going to do about 3 flowers. So again, the thick ones, we'll just kind of slice those in half, and just like this. There we go. See, it's really, really easy to do. Now, if you wanted to get really elaborate with this, like you could go in with like basil and all sorts of things. But for now, we're just going to do our scallions and of course our cute little tomato petals. You're just going to cut a few cherry tomatoes in half, and you'll be able to do 3 or 4 petals at a time. It's up to you. So that's ready to go. It's been a half an hour suddenly. And we're gonna we're dimpling our dough at this point. And you should make that noise. I recommend making that noise. Hey, what was that? All right, so we're gonna sprinkle our dough with some olive oil, and you're just gonna want to be a little bit kind of somewhere in the realm of liberal to not liberal. We really want to get it kind of completely covered with that olive oil, and just use your hands. Don't stress about brushes and things like that. So now we're going to go ahead and make our adorable flowers, and you can just use 3 or 4 little pieces of your tomato at a time. Look at that. I mean, stop. For cute. And here we go with fast hands. Fast hands. Do 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 do. And we're gonna go ahead and finish this with some kosher coarse sea salt. This is gonna go into a 425 degree preheated oven. Once you get it into the oven, you'll turn it down to 325 degrees. It'll cook for 15 minutes, and you can finish it under the broiler. And there we go. It's amazing. It is beautiful, and it is just absolutely perfect. So I hope you all try this. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Bye, y'all. Stay well.